Well, hello. We're here for a press conference today. I do appreciate you adjusting your time because normally we do these in the morning, so thank you for adjusting your time for an afternoon one today. This is really a major advancement of our office that we are announcing today, one that I'm deeply proud of. The Tazewell County Clerk and Recorder of Deeds office will be the first county government office in Tazewell County, in the state of Illinois, and one of the first in the nation to integrate AI into our office operations. We are integrating it, have integrated it into our search engine so that our county board minutes and our military discharge records, not only will they be available, searchable for the typed text, but now the handwritten text will be searchable as well. The AI search engine will read the historic cursive handwriting for the first 100 years of our records and be able to provide up-to-date information on where that's at. An example I brought here, this book contains the first 10 years of our county history for the county board minutes. This is the first 10 years of ones. They're all painstakingly handwritten. It's a wonderful book to have. We value it, but it really isn't something that we can search or look through because you'd have to sit there and read page by page all the way through to be able to see where the item you might want is located. Now, this book not only is available digitized online, but the cursive handwriting, you will be able to search it using the search engine to find the materials that you're looking for. This will unlock for us a treasure trove of historical information and make it easier for staff to locate information that they're looking to obtain from these records. Here's an example of how this will save Tazewell County taxpayers revenue. In 2021, the Tazewell County Highway Department approached Ameren about the need for moving 25 telephone poles for the Broadway repaving project, a realignment or expansion of that road. Ameren claimed that their easement from 1936 predated our right-of-way, and as such, was requiring the taxpayers to cover the cost of relocating those poles. Our current Tazewell County Highway Director, Dan Parr, was just an employee at that point, but he thought, well, does their easement predate it? Can we find what's the oldest right-of-way recording for Broadway? So he came down to our office because that's where those materials would be. That very book I was showing you, from 1827 to 1838, the minutes, he pulled it and he started going through it. Now he had to look one page after another, reading that cursive, trying to decipher, to look for Broadway, to see if he could, on a hunch, maybe find it. He didn't know if it was there or not. Sure enough, in 1833, he found the original right-of-way for Broadway outlined in that book. And then he presented it to Ameren, and they had to pay for the realignment, relocation of those 25 telephone poles. That was a savings of $250,000, $250,000 he saved the taxpayers of Tazewell County by being able to provide that information. So that just shows you, by having this historical information available for the public to review, there is an opportunity for those things to be found, to be located, and to be saving the taxpayers on expenses that they would have had to pay otherwise. Now, he had to leave Tremont, where he was located, drive here to Pekin to grab this book from our basement vault, to pull it out, to sit there and go through it page by page by page, reading the context, to hope to be able to find that. Now with this enhancement today, our first step actually was digitizing that book, which we completed in 2023, becoming the first county in the state of Illinois to have all of our county board minutes fully digitized. So now he didn't have to come down here, he could have done it from his office. But the search engine only operated for the typed index. So that's only the last 100 years of our county's history. The first 100 years, those records, he still would have to have gone through the book page by page. With the advancement today, now he'll be able to just type in that information from his office in Tremont and be able to locate that historical information. This is on our website, available for the public. This doesn't cover just the county board minutes. It also covers the military discharge records, our historically archived ones. So individuals already can go on and view our veterans from the Civil War, our military discharge records we have from the Civil War. Now, since they're all painstakingly handwritten, they'll also be able to search those records, which will open up family genealogical records to a much larger crowd than previously available. With that, I want to turn it over. Well, a couple other items real quick. This enhancement cost $46,832. We paid for it through modernization funds that we had set aside for our office last year. It's been in the works since last fall. I believe October is when this project got underway. It's been live on our website now for the past week. In the meantime, they were plugging in different items to teach the AI how to read the handwriting. My understanding is that it's currently setting at about a 95% accuracy rate, and that accuracy rate will only increase as more and more users utilize this service. So I'm extraordinarily proud, again, to be able to offer this, the first in the state of Illinois, to be not only that, but also be one of the first in the nation to have this enhancement. I think this is really something that's going to allow local historians, allow local libraries, students doing research, but also citizens that just want to research their family history or research through the records looking for items, in addition to employees, as the example I showed, utilizing these records on a daily basis. I'm going to turn it over to Steve Fears with Arca out of Minnesota. That is the company that we've contracted with for this service. They have done fantastic work for us in the past, and we're proud to have this partnership continue. I'll turn it over to Steve for a few words.
Okay. Thank you, John, and thank you for the opportunity to show our wares with you. Again, my name is Steve Fears with Arca Digital Preservation Services. For decades, millions of pages of our history, census records, handwritten journals, and county board minutes from the 1800s have sat in silence. They weren't hidden, but they were effectively unreadable at a scale because human eyes simply couldn't process them fast enough. At Arca we are changing that by applying advanced handwriting recognition using AI. We are doing more than just digitizing paper. We are liberating history. At Arca the benefits of transformation are tasks that would take a historian a lifetime now take AI only mere hours. We are turning cryptic cursive into searchable text, however, allowing families to find their ancestors with a single click. We aren't just looking at the old ink, we are giving a voice back to the people of the 19th century. This isn't just a win for technology, it's a massive win for our shared heritage. Thank you for the opportunity for us to do this service. Thank you.
One other thing of local interest I will add to this as well is, because I'm sure that with the being a hot topic it will come up, is this the type of AI that was required, the Pekin data center that was in discussions? Would this have been something stored there? It would not have been. This technology is integrated into their software that they have, their data center in St. Cloud, Minnesota, where they store our files. So this isn't another burden onto the need for local data centers. Only bring that up again because it's been a local point of discussion. With that, I will turn it over to the members of the media for questions, and we'll be happy to answer them.
So I think you mentioned this earlier, but can you go into a little bit more in depth on how the public can access this AI search, like from home, or is it only in an office? How can someone easily access this?
Yeah, if on our Tazewell County Clerk website, these records are posted right there under County Board Minutes Archives, and then under the Military Discharge Archives. They click on that link, they can pull those files up already. Again, the digitized prints have been out since 2023 and 2024. Now, the search engine has been enhanced with this AI technology to be able to read that cursive handwriting. So that's been available for the last week, maybe a little longer, but it's been up there. So yeah, no, they can access it and redo it from their home, do it from a public library, from schools, anywhere.
And is there a fee that comes along with these?
No fee, no. It's a free service provided to the public. And again, these aren't records, I think we've repeated it time and time again, but just to reiterate it one more time. These aren't records that were previously unavailable. They've always been available for public review. That is a primary function of the Office of County Clerk, is making these historical records available to the public. These records of what the county's business was available for the public to review. The issue is when you have a book like this that covers the first 10 years, sitting down and actually being able to go through it, as you can see, it's about the size of 2 encyclopedias, taking the time to go through there and read it, and without an index of where items are, being able to locate that little breadcrumb that you're searching for, using another one, it's literally looking for the needle in the haystack. Now this AI search engine is going to read the text for you, is going to locate those words, bringing it up on the screen and making that research that much more readily accessible.
And then if I can, I'm actually going to just jump in here. So our records have always been available, like John said, but recently in the last couple of years, we digitized them, which meant that anyone, they don't have to come into our office. So they can search 24 hours a day, whether you live in Pekin or you live in China. Somebody could do the research. And now that we have the AI presence, you know, with the handwritten, it even makes the searchable engine even easier for people. So that way it saves not only the time from coming into the office, but you look at these old books. These books are very fragile, and the older you get, it's to the point where we really don't want people to be handling them because it's easy to tear pages. As you can tell, this one needs to be redone because the binding of it is getting deteriorated. And we are in the process of doing that to these books, but we want to make sure, though, that they remain in good shape. And by having the searchable engine, it's not having 20, 30, 40 people a day searching through these books, you know, and taking a chance of damaging our history. And that's what this is. So by having everything all on the computer, it saves not only the book, but it saves our history. Because once you lose it, it's gone.
Yes, sir.
Could I get a timeline of when you guys first had this idea to start digitizing? Well, not using AI to digitize these things.
Yeah, we started the digitization. We were the first county to digitize all of our military discharge and all of our county board minutes. The military discharge, I think I inaccurately reverted them earlier. That was done, the military discharge, in 2023. In 2024, all the county board minutes were done as well. So they've been digitized and available. The AI search engine is the new enhancement that's been now made available, and that was finished just last week and made available. We started the process in October of last year, is when we contracted with Arca to do the work of installing that into our database.
Are there limits with military records that are kind of sensitive, or who can see what?
Yeah, there used to be. They used to be sealed for only immediate family. Our office, one might say that was about 2020, when Enact had the law changed so that it met the national standards for military discharge records, which is they are sealed for immediate family only for the first 55 years. After that, then they are opened and considered a historic archive and made available. The case that we utilized to bring up why this was needed, we have 980 Civil War military discharge papers. Who's in a direct immediate descendant that gets to see that? There is no children alive anymore. There are no parents, of course, available. So those records, those valuable historic archives, were just rotting away on the shelf. There was nobody allowed to see them. So when we got the law changed, that is now a book that the public has been able to utilize to review. We've utilized it for public displays. The students of local schools have come in and done research on our history of our veterans. So they have been invaluable ever since we opened them up to the public. All of the military discharge records are fully digitized, but when you pull up one that is in the sealed section still, it'll just be a blank screen saying, see the Recorder of Deeds office, and that's where then they'll verify. But as they become available to the public, they move from that black screen to the live screen so that everybody can see them.
And kind of bouncing off of that, is there like a human or like someone else to review these steps when people request these official copies, or is it all through this AI?
For to obtain a copy of the military discharge, we really don't
have any copies of like the discharge, any like old yearbooks or anything, just to make sure the information is accurate?
Nope, they're all available for public review free of charge. That's by state statute, so they've always been available for them to come physically to the office. Now that we've posted them all online, nope, the records are fully wide open for everybody to review and look at. They're all historical texts, of course, so as far as changing them, there would be no need for edits or changes. If there is an error on the historical record, it still should remain the way it is, and just noting that error probably is how we would adjust it, but it's not something we've had to deal with at this point. You mentioned the yearbooks as well. That is a nice one. That was done in 2025, the digitization of them. Now, this AI search engine didn't impact them because the yearbooks had always been typed, so they were already fully reviewable. Although I guess it's something we hadn't tried, but I imagine this would pull up if anybody wrote a handwritten note in one of them that we did. I guess it would pull up that handwritten note. It's something I hadn't considered on that, but no, it would pull that up probably as well. So I guess that's something. I guess this did have an impact on that, but that's why I didn't mention it in the initial release because I hadn't thought of that being an option available. But yeah.
I guess when you said that the AI had a 95% accuracy.
Yes.
So because of that, often for like her kind of question, before it is put up onto the internet or before the files are made public, are they proofread?
Well, the files that the digitized records is a frame-by-frame picture of the book itself. So you're looking at it just as it appears in the record. We're not changing that at all. All the AI search engine is doing is reading the cursive handwriting and pulling out the words for you. So if my family name, Ackerman, I threw it in the other day, we did for fun, and pulled up that there was a record from 1854. I didn't realize that our family's name was mentioned in the county board minutes that far back. So that's a record I didn't know about, one I'll be researching in the days to come. Families can plug in their name, they can plug in, like I said, in the example of the highway department, he would have just typed in Broadway and brought up Broadway and been able to see where that was at, rather than having to painstakingly sit there for hours and go page by page, hoping you see that word. So it's not changing anything, or you're seeing it exactly as it appears on that page itself. It's just highlighting where that word is located for you.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's no different than what we've been used to with PDFs as far as converting a typed letter to a PDF searchable PDF plus text. It all depends on the original document, how well it was scanned, and or imaged. In the case, what we're doing is we're taking a color photo of the documents. Two reasons: preservation. So when you go online, you look at that page, it looks like the original. And secondly, it helps the capture engine in the AI, or originally OCR, to get the recognition rate up. We've experienced really high recognition rates in typed text for many years. Now, after 25 years, I mean, I've been waiting for this for 25 years. We can now, if we get the right quality images and the right engine that's learned, we've taught it how to read that calligraphy, then the recognition rate can go almost to 100%.
After we got done looking at it the other day, for fun, we went ahead and pulled up another one. One of our previous county clerks, his name was Flavel Shirtliff. That's one to find because you've got the S is in cursive, is there, you got the H, you got the F's, the L's, the E's. There's all the reasons on why it shouldn't be able to find Shirtliff or even Flavel. Sure enough, it pulled them up every time. As far as it being able to read something as complex where the cursive can start to blend in, the E's and S's sometimes are harder to see that way in some of the older cursive handwriting. It pulled it up with each time with complete accuracy. So I'm very confident in that 95% that is being stated now. Only getting higher because when I've tried it out so far, it's been spot on each time. So I think the few little ones that will fall between are, again, it's a much higher improvement than having to sit and go through page by page and hope that your eye. I'm believing that my eye has a higher rejection rate than that. So.
I have kind of like a two-part question.
Yes.
So I believe you mentioned earlier that it would cost around $46,000.
It did. It's been fully paid for last year already.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so do you anticipate future AI related costs for like maintenance or any upgrades that you would consider in the future?
No, no, this is a one-time thing, it's done, it's installed, ready to run. Our other text that we're adding in is type text, all the new records that are being added, so they were available under the older one. With the county approaching its bicentennial, it really does make a nice statement that for 100 years, it's all been typed, it's been available. For the first 100 years though, those were where they were all handwritten. Now we've made that previous 100 years, that first 100 years, available for the masses to review as well. I think something else I would mention with this too, this isn't a requirement that we had to do this. This is utilizing the technology, new technology that's made available to make our lives easier and to make more information more readily available for the public. Again, it is the primary responsibility of the county clerk to make the actions of county government today and yesterday more readily available for the public, for them to review, for them to find information, for them to see what actions took place. That's our primary responsibility throughout the state of Illinois, and this is just an example of our office leading the way of embracing new technology and utilizing it to enhance that service.
That's what the questions are.
Ah, yes.
I don't think I did.
We did have a beginning part. I can be happy to go back. We'll redo it here in a bit for you. So not an issue at all. And for B-roll for you, I'll open up the book so you guys can take a look at what the original looks like. We'll go over to the computer then and look at the historical, what it looks like online so you can see how this actually works out. Well, if there are no other questions, thank you very much for your time today, and I hope every citizen takes the time to plug into this and take a look at it and see what treasures they can find in these records. Thank you.